All right. Questions for Coach?
Opportunities with how they're defending. I think Lopez is a favorable matchup for him because of how far back and drop he is. We know we can get specific shots when we put him in certain actions, and either going to be for the handler coming off or him popping the wide open shots. And so his activity was great as far as that. They switched some and he took advantage inside, but been consistent all year and really good in the playoffs. And so we need a big night from him.
He's a guy who always tries to make the right play. Tonight he had to do something he doesn't usually do, which is just leave it down.
Yeah, it helped everybody. Obviously, with JB with the foul trouble, Jason got him going a little bit there late, but Al, it's like I said, we know we can get him a certain shot every time, and so we've told him to be extremely aggressive. 5 for 7 tonight. He's got 9 threes up throughout this series, and so he can get those looks whenever. And so it's good to have that outlet out there. And then starting to close out on him, play him differently, like they play Grant, and he's getting downhill a little bit and getting other guys shots. And so we like to hide him in certain areas on the court, spread out Lopez some, and he's going to come pretty much help on all penetration. And Al's getting those wide open looks in the corner.
That Horford dunk there on Giannis, got it up. Seemed to energize you guys. Did that change the question of the game?
Yeah, I think it did. I didn't see the follow through, whatever he did, but sounded like he cracked him pretty good. And like you said, energized the group. In general, like I said, he's been great all year, but really need him to step up big with guys being out. JB in foul trouble, Rob missing this game. So he took that on his shoulders. Like I said, they're guarding him a certain way. He's able to attack, and love the aggressiveness and extra from him.
Other guys seem to get more aggressive after that too.
Yeah, but I think in general, it's 43-28 fourth quarter, so we were getting stops and getting out and running, trying to take advantage and play fast. And so you could tell the group in general, especially with JB out, was really playing good with Derek and some of those guys, and more so than just Al. I think the whole group in general. We looked at the score down 7 going into the fourth and said we haven't played that well at all, honestly, and let's have a big fourth quarter, and we did that.
You guys were kind of coming unglued a little bit there in the third. What was the key to get back to your boys in the fourth?
Getting some stops late and getting it back to 7. Being down 1.5, we didn't really play that well. And to your point, it got away a little bit. I think they got the 11-point lead in that quarter, but to get it to a manageable number, 7 going into the fourth, we felt pretty good about it. Being that we didn't play that well again throughout 3 quarters, we said just have one solid quarter. And we're down 7. We got a whole game here to play, and let's really start to attack and get multiple penetrations. And I think we did that more so in the fourth quarter than throughout the first 3.
Horford kind of got y'all the lead early in the fourth, and kind of closed the door. Just what you saw from him, just to bounce back the way he did.
Yeah, he finally got in a good rhythm. I think possibly with JB being out and the ball in his hands a lot more, he finally found a good rhythm. We found some actions that we liked for him. And then some isolations where we don't always bring the screen and we feel he can beat his man. And so gave him a little bit more space to operate. He got downhill, got aggressive, and then started knocking down the threes. And so what he's been doing all year, took him a little bit to get going in this game, but finished off well in the fourth, obviously, especially with JB being out.
It's another game where they looked pretty fast in the fourth quarter. You guys made a big comeback. How much of your, offensive game plan, even just throughout the night, is trying to wear them down a little bit, make them help and recover?
Yeah, I think it goes both ways. We obviously did in the first series against Brooklyn. We wanted to put Durant, Irving, and certain guys in actions, their main scorers, and they've done that somewhat to us as well. Put JT in the certain actions, JB, but we like to do the same thing and not just let Giannis and those guys roam the weak side. We want to put them in actions, make them guard, and cumulative effect for sure. They're doing a lot. Getting 32 shots up and playing 41 minutes takes a toll on you alone, but we want to put them in actions and make them work and not let them rest on the defensive end.
What factored into finding the right time to reinsert Jaylen Brown? Was there a specific minute mark in that fourth quarter that you were trying to get to, or just filling out the flow?
A little bit of flow. We kept monitoring the score. We obviously got back in it, got the lead, and kept it close so we could buy him a few more minutes. He was begging to come in basically 10, 8, 7 every other minute. And we, obviously with a 3-point lead, we can buy some more time, and that unit was playing well. So Didn't want to put him back in too early with 5. Had a good rhythm going with the guys, but knew we'd bring him back to finish. And so the fact that we played so well without him obviously bought him those extra minutes.
You talk about the way they're guarding Al. Is that something you noticed coming into the game?
No, it's all series. I mean, they're guarding him a specific way. Anytime you have Lopez that far back in the drop, we can literally run a pick and pop anytime we want and get a wide open 3 at least. And so understanding that he gets in the rhythm, we try to get him downhill a little bit, give him some different looks. And then when you see him going a little bit, we obviously have multiple sets so we can get JT or JB downhill against Lopez and always have that outlet to throw back to.
You know, how much of a luxury is it to have he's been through the war, he's been through a lot. You guys there, this was a tough game, the officiating, you know, it seemed like just having Al as that kind of old head of the group helps you right there.
Yeah, he's been a calming influence throughout the whole year. You know, a veteran who's been there, done that on a lot of playoff teams that have got really far, made really big runs. And so, you know, he is a veteran of our group and has done that all year. So we know he's been great throughout training camp early in the season. He's carried that into the playoffs and almost took another step in the playoffs. So, you know, guys out, Rob, you know, guys in foul trouble. He was called upon to score a little bit more tonight, but he's always the most vocal guy. Every time I come to the timeout, he's kind of giving instruction and settling everybody down.
Al sat here a couple nights ago. He looked pretty pissed off. Have you ever seen that kind of intensity from him? Did you see after that game that maybe because he's not somebody that's going to come out here and score this kind of put together these kind of nights, and he doesn't have back-to-back games on the road? Did you see something different in him in the past couple of days?
I would say overall, we were all pretty pissed about the way we lost that last game. So kind of consensus with the team. But in general, I think he takes what the game gives him. And we understand it's a favorable matchup, the way they're defending him and the attention they're paying to others. And so it's a series for him to be extra aggressive on some of those kickouts. He knows he can drive those guys. You know, big emphasis is driving their closeouts when the bigs come out on him. And so he's making the right read, taking the right shot. And I wouldn't say anymore, you know, he was not trying to score anymore. We just understand how we can get him shots and he can be a big time scoring factor in this series. Derek? Yeah, it was good. It was especially, you know, we needed that with Jalen out. Him and Peyton and that unit stepped up to play well. And like I said, it bought us more minutes. But, you know, they have Holiday and Matthews, their main defenders, on some of our main guys. And so Derek and other guys are going to have some favorable matchups that we like to attack at times. And as I've said all along, it's not only the scoring that stands out with what he does, it's him getting into the paint, making the right play. And if he has a favorable matchup, he can get downhill and get to his floater or pull up. And so he took some of those easy shots tonight and really obviously helped us in third and fourth quarter.
Final questions for you. You guys shot, I think, 84% in the fourth quarter. You've seen a lot of basketball. Have you seen a player or, you know, the coach just like a performance like that in the quarter where just everything's working offensively? Yeah,
I mean, you get on your hot streaks, and a lot of them were great looks, wide open shots. We talked about multiple paint touches, and their defense will dissipate, and we got those wide open looks. You know, the other piece was getting stops and getting out and running in transition. We got some easy baskets as well. So you could tell, I'm not sure who said it, someone's point where they started to fade a little bit and we wanted to push the tempo and then make them work in the half court. And so that was the time we really increased touching the paint as much as we could, getting favorable matchups, but having them in scramble mode got us a lot of wide open shots.
That series in crunch time, you guys were trying to find a guard to target and kind of go volleyball. Tonight, Tatum on George Hill. What made you want to go to that tonight? How hard has it been just throughout the series to find some sort of mismatch?
Yeah, I think Jay had it going different ways, and we know the guys that switch with their team and the guys that hedge and they try to keep off, and George, the guy that's in the Matthews Holiday group, that they'll switch everything. I played with George as a rookie in San Antonio, so I know a little bit about George and try to take advantage of that.
Thank you, Ian.
That's my guy, though.